So I had this question posed to me the other day, and it had me thinking a little bit on how to respond. Well, maybe not too much thinking, but more or less thinking I should do a video to respond to this because it's actually a good question. I had someone looking at the HobbyZone Micro Trainer P-51 Mustang right here, this guy right here. And they're saying, hey, wait a minute. Well, actually, it was two questions. First question is, does it pair to my Spektrum iX14 radio? Okay. Second question, why would I pick this over the UMX P-51? Well, that's what I'm going to go to answer today. The first part of that is, will it bind to my Spektrum iX14 or really any Spektrum radio, the DX series, NX series, or IX series? The answer is no. It uses a proprietary transmitter, this HobbyZone transmitter here. It uses this. This is a proprietary one that only works with the micro trainers. But the fact that you are asking that suggests that you are A, been in the hobby for a long time, B, already have a lot of the infrastructure such as an IX series radio or other high-end radio, and C, you are knowledgeable enough to know what kind of questions to ask. That leads me to say this is not the product for you at all. The reason is this product right here is designed for people who have no idea what I just talked about. UMX, I don't know what that is. iX14, I don't know. DX, NX, I don't know. That's a lot of letters going on right there that I have no idea what any of those are. If you fall into that camp, this airplane is absolutely perfect for you. If you are in the camp of asking the question, should I have, can I bind that to my NX8, my iX14, whatever? Then you switch over here to the UMX model. The UMX model, of course, is ultra micro, and the X stands for extreme. So just a little bit of kind of background on the UMX airplanes if you are not familiar with them, because if you're new to the hobby and you're looking at this airplane here and you see this one and you say, well, this one's only a little bit more money than this one, what's the difference? Well, the UMX models, such as this one here, are not meant for beginners. That's probably one of the bigger things right there. If you are just starting off in the hobby, the UMX P-51 or any of the UMX planes is most certainly not where you want to get started. These UMX planes tend to be second, third, fourth. They're meant for more experienced pilots who have a little bit more flight experience. They moved on past trainers. They have a lot of the infrastructure needed. You have a programmable computerized radio such as my NX8 here. They have a charger already. They have a lot of the what I call infrastructure needed to support the hobby. So for them to go out and buy this P-51 Mustang here, use their existing charger, bind it to their existing radio, it's pretty easy. UMX planes also tend not to fly like trainers. They tend to fly a little bit more of a performance-oriented aircraft. This is 2S and 3S powered. It produces significantly more power than this one. It is a lot faster. On 3S, it's a little bit of a rocket ship. On 2S, it's still pretty quick. I fly this in some pretty small areas on 2S, and I gotta be on top of my game because it's a fast-moving little Mustang. I've actually never flown it on 3S, but I guarantee it's a rocket because I've seen the other ones, the Voodoo, and people fly this on 3S. It's meant for more intermediate pilots. It's not for beginners. You have the ability to fine-tune the control surfaces inside the radio. You're adjusting your rates, you're adjusting your expo. You are already knowledgeable on how to dial this airplane in to exactly what you want it to do. The UMX planes also tend to have a lot more scale fidelity, such as this P-51 here, which is, I'll be honest, this is one of the most beautiful UMX models E-flite it's ever produced. The foam finish, the silver finish, the clear canopy, it's got the pilot, it's got the nose art, it's got the plastic exhaust stacks on here, scale looking 4-bladed prop, landing gear doors, the correct looking landing gear. I mean, this thing for a UMX model is incredible. This thing looks like it should be winning scale contests, not flying in my backyard. That's a UMX model. This model here, the Micro Trainer, is not the same as this UMX. You say, well, they look about the same size, right? Well, there's more to the story than just size. In fact, they are actually remarkably similar in size, but what they're designed for, the customer they're intended for, the use cases are very different. If you have no flight experience at all, and you say, I really want to fly a warbird, I want to fly a P-51 Mustang. I mean, who doesn't want to fly a P-51 Mustang? Most of us get into the hobby, we fly Cubs and trainers and things like that with the eventual goal of flying a P-51 Mustang. The HobbyZone Micro Trainer Mustang here gets you into the Mustang day one. It includes everything you need to get flying for $99.99, so $100 basically. You get the airplane, you get the transmitter, you get 2 batteries, the charger, and a spare prop. For about $150, you only get an airplane on the UMX side. You're gonna have to purchase a transmitter, you're gonna have to purchase batteries, you are gonna have to purchase a charger. You need a lot of infrastructure to get this one into the air. You're not getting into the air from scratch for like $150. It's considerably more than that. But if you're in the hobby and you have all that infrastructure, this is the one for you. If you are starting off and you have none of the infrastructure, you don't have a computerized transmitter, you don't have a charger, you don't have boxes of batteries, this is definitely the way to go. From the P-51 right here, you can go ahead and get started flying one of like the most iconic warbirds in World War II. You're gonna give up some scale fidelity. You notice it's got a black canopy on here versus the clear. It doesn't have a scale looking 4-blade prop. It's got foam exhaust stacks on here. It doesn't have the plastic gun ports. It's not dimensionally probably as accurate as the UMX one is. It looks the part. If you look at this airplane, you know that's a P-51 Mustang, even though it doesn't have necessarily the same scale fidelity as the UMX one. But it gets you into a Mustang for an incredible price point, and it's designed for beginners. It's designed to be a trainer. So if you're cross-shopping between these two and you're already asking the questions, does it connect to a Spektrum NX or IX series radio, then this is the aircraft you should be looking at. You should be looking at the UMX. If you are an experienced pilot, you've been flying for years, and you're looking for something fun to fly like in a smaller area, you're going to be looking at the UMX aircraft, and you're going to bind that right to your DX, NX, IX radio, and you're going to go through and you're going to do all your programming. You have a charger, you're familiar with 2S and 3S batteries. This is the aircraft you're going to go to. If you have no idea about anything I just talked about, this is the airplane for you. And I think that's really important because I don't think a lot of people understand the difference between the two. If you just look at like a picture on the website, right? And you say, well, that's a Mustang and that's a Mustang and they're almost the same price point. Aren't they the same thing? No, they're very different. This is most certainly a beginner's airplane. It's designed to be a trainer. It also has an incredibly high amount of durability to it. The type of durability that the UMX models really don't have. The UMX models give up some of that durability for lighter wing loading, a little bit more accurate scale, finer panel lines, crisper details. This is starting to tend to get closer to like a flying scale model. The Micro Trainer Mustang here, the foam quality it's not as nice. The panel lines aren't as crisp. Things are not as dimensionally correct and accurate. But what it does have is a lot more durability. This aircraft can be flown. You can bump this one into the ground, because I have done it just to see how durable it really was. I bumped it into the ground and the prop pops off like it's designed to. You put the prop back on and it flies again. It's like, man, I don't even have to do anything. If I did that exact same thing with my UMX plane, I would probably be ordering a new prop, ordering a spinner, and probably buying either a new wing surface or getting out the glue and having to do some repair work. These aircraft give up a lot of durability to give you a different flight experience, to have more scale fidelity. It's a very different aircraft because these were never meant to be for beginners. They're not meant for trainers. They're meant for intermediate pilots who have a lot of, they have more flight skill. They're not going to be crashing as often. So you can exchange some of that durability for different flight performance, different flight characteristics, the more the detail, the fidelity that I really appreciate. but I also have a lot of years of flying under my belt, and I love all the scale stuff that this one has. If I was just starting out and I wanted to fly a Mustang, because who doesn't, this is a fantastic way to get you started. You can get into the hobby for $100 with a transmitter, 2 batteries, a charger, and a spare prop. You're not going to get that with a UMX plane. Also, let's say I have someone who, let's say I have a friend of mine comes over, or one of my nieces or nephews comes over, and he's like, well, I want to fly an airplane, I want to fly an airplane. You know, they all want to fly warbirds because warbirds are the coolest, let's be real. There's no way that I would let anyone fly my Mustang. You'd have to be an experienced, club member with years of flying for me to hand over the keys to my UMX Detroit Miss Mustang here. But if you're my 10-year-old nephew and you want to go fly something and you want to show me what you got on the sticks here, I would have no trouble heading out to a baseball field or a soccer field, putting in a battery and sending this thing with him. I would most certainly stand right there and be by his side to make sure that he can control the aircraft and fly it. But I have no doubts that in beginner mode or even in intermediate mode, I can hand this over to someone, have them fly the airplane. This is not designed for that. Yes, you can have safe on here, and then safe works fantastic for hand launching the airplane or landing, making sure it stays level, but it's not a trainer. And just because an airplane has safe doesn't automatically mean it's a trainer. There's a lot that goes into making an aircraft a trainer, and that's where this really shines. It has the durability, it has the value, it gives up some scale fidelity for a kind of a broader wing. It's actually a little bit of a fatter wing in proportion to than it is on this. But the fact that you could bump this thing off the ground, it plops down in the grass, and I can put the prop back on and take right back off again, is absolutely amazing. See if I can get, the prop just comes off like that. That's awesome. This thing is great. So if you're on the fence on which one to buy, you really just have to ask yourself, what kind of a pilot are you? Are you a beginner who doesn't have a lot of flight experience, but you want the joy and the experience and the thrill of flying a P-51 Mustang? You buy this one here. It gets you everything you need to get you started. You're an experienced pilot, you've been flying for a while, you got your computerized radio, you got your charger, you are familiar with LiPo batteries, all those things. Then the UMX is the one you get. They're not really meant to compete against each other. They sell to 2 different types of people. I have no trouble handing the keys over to this one for someone to fly it. There's no way I would hand the keys to this beautiful thing to anyone to let them fly it. There's a big difference between the 2 of them. So I wanted to make sure I kind of covered that, because I think that was a good fair question that people may not understand. If you look at just simply the price or the size or the picture of the airplanes and you don't understand what's different about them, I think it's really easy to get them kind of confused over which one is which. So beginner, that one. Experienced, that one. You can go from this one to that one in time, but you shouldn't go from this one to that one. So if you guys got any questions at all on the P-51 Mustang, either the UMX or the Micro trainer, just let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. We'll get some more content coming your way. But I really want to thank the person who kind of posed some of these questions online, because it definitely had me thinking I should definitely do a video on this. And I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new about these 2 Mustangs.